Welcome, everybody. My name is Kira Noche. I'm a NEED intern from Albuquerque, New Mexico. We want to congratulate all of our participants in the 40th Annual NEED Youth Energy Conference and Awards. We're very excited to have everyone with us today. Although we can't be together in Washington, D.C. for this event, we want to make sure that you are having fun and are recognized for the great work that you guys have done in energy education all year. I want to quickly go over a few things to keep in mind during the new ceremony format here in Zoom. Please keep your microphones on mute and use the chat to ask questions or let us know of any issues. We'll often want everyone to do a silent applause, so just like get excited, congratulate people for their awards. There's also a little reaction button, like clapping hands, that you can use as well. So yeah, now to join us in the celebration, please welcome NEED's former board chairman and now board vice chairman, Wayne Yonkowitz, as an incredible STEM educator at Fayetteville, West Virginia.
Hi, everybody. As was told, my name's Wayne Yonkowitz. I'm from Fayetteville, West Virginia, and glad everybody could make it to the Youth Energy Conference this year. And sorry that it's not in DC, but save your money that you would have spent this year, and we'll see you in DC next year. And on behalf of the Board of Directors, I'd like to congratulate all our winners, all the participants that were on Zoom today. And again, we hope to see everybody in DC next year. So I'll turn it over to Mary, and congratulations again.
Thanks, Wayne. Hi, I'm Mary Sproul. I'm Executive Director of the NEED Project, and thanks for joining us for this first ever virtual Youth Award ceremony. And we're hoping that things get better and we'll be back in Washington, D.C. together next year. I'm hoping that the last couple of days and some of the activities and the videos and the games that we've been playing have really given you an opportunity to have a little bit of fun this summer and kind of kick off your summer with a little excitement to sort of shake off the fourth quarter that so many of our students didn't give an opportunity to have. I'm really excited about someone who's going to join us today and talk to you about the importance of STEM education and what it has meant to his career path and trajectory, and why it's really important to stay engaged and think about what you want to do as you continue to grow up and continue to get involved in all the important things that are going to make a whole lot of people impressed and proud of you as you continue to grow and learn and get more and more involved in your local communities and around the world. I like to think of him as a real STEM rock star. He's really in everything that is cool about STEM and makes STEM approachable and applicable and available to teachers, students, and families around the country and around the world. Dr. Frederick Bertley is a great friend to me. We've had lots and lots of laughs, including wearing often the same Chuck Taylor Converse sneakers, and a great friend to NEED teachers and kids around the country, and really to teachers, students, and families around the globe. As president and CEO of the Center of Science and Industry in Columbus, Ohio, COSI, as many of you may know it, he's a scientist, a scholar, and an evangelist for innovating thinking, ideation, and challenging the status quo about STEM and about how you get engaged in science and technology and engineering and math, and how to keep everyone engaged at every age. NEED started working with Frederick when he was in Philadelphia as vice president of the Franklin Institute, and we're lucky to have him with us speaking today. He's been a keynote speaker at some pretty impressive places like the White House, the United Nations, the National Academy of Sciences, and lots of other places. And as you continue to think about where you want to go to school and what you want to do as you get older, think about some of the great places that Frederick has studied. He studied at McGill University in physiology, mathematics, and the history of science. What a great class I'm sure that was. He's got a PhD in immunology as well. So much of what we're learning about these days, Frederick did as he was studying. He's worked in STEM around the world and has some great stories to share about all of those things. You're going to really enjoy getting to know him. He's hopefully going to have a chance to take a couple questions, maybe right after. And we're just thrilled to have Dr. Frederick Bertley with us today. Dr. Bertley?
Well, Mary, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. It is a pleasure, youth, to just be in front of you today. I want to share a few things. First, let me share my screen. But before I do so, Mary talked about our affection for Chuck Taylors. She wasn't exaggerating, folks. These are the latest edition of the COSI issued Chuck Taylors. Yes, we are the #1 science museum in the nation, voted by USA Today. But all seriousness, it's a pleasure to be in front of all you. Congratulations, you students are awesome. And I just want to spend about 12 minutes to share a few thoughts with you all today. So I'm going to share my screen. And hopefully this works. All right, can everybody see my screen? Is that a yes? Great. So here we go. All right, so let me begin. I always begin my presentations with special shout outs. So first shout out goes to none other than Katherine Johnson. You know her well. If you don't recognize the name, she is, I see some thumbs up there. Thank you, Bart. She is, the main figure in the movie Hidden Figures. As you know, she was an African-American woman who did the mathematical calculations so John Glenn could actually orbit the Earth and land back safely. She died this year at the age of 101 years old, and we're thrilled to celebrate her. But I also have to give an even bigger shout out to my favorite organization called NEED. Y'all are celebrating your 40th birthday. Well done. It's really impressive. Think back to the early days, 1980, none other than President Jimmy Carter signed an actual document that said it's critical that we have energy education in our public school system and education in general. And from that same period, NEED was formed. And then it's been a rocket trajectory for how incredible that program has grown from being a small local program to now being in every one of the 50 states across this country. You can't pull that off just by chance. So with that, I want to celebrate the incredible NEEDS team and staff and the board of trustees for pulling off this incredible journey. And obviously, as good as the team is, you're always shepherded by a fearless leader. With that, my pal, my friend, my colleague, got to give a shout out to Mary Spruill. You all know her, you all love her. She's literally changed the face of NEED and taken it to unprecedented levels. So shout outs to all of you. With that, let's begin. I want to start with this quote that I know you all can read it because you know Cantonese and Mandarin. You're all fluent in Chinese language. This is actually something you are very familiar with. It translates into English, may you live in interesting times. And ladies and gentlemen, and especially the youth on this Zoom talk, we are absolutely living in interesting times. We know about coronavirus, of course. Think about this. This virus, right, here's a nice graphic of it. If you think about us humans, all of you on this call, on this Zoom call, all of us in the US, all 7.7 billion people on planet Earth have 20,000 genes in our genome. If you think about your common fruit fly in your kitchen, 13,000 genes. The average bacteria goes from 600 to 5,500 genes. Coronavirus, are you ready? Drum roll. Coronavirus, 14 genes. This bug that has only 14 genes has shut down our entire planet. Just incredible, right? I mean, from here throughout the US to around the globe, this small virus that you can't see with your eyes has crippled all of us and has shut us down. And so I want to pause for a little COSI commercial. Here's what we're suggesting for all of you. No mask and no science. Why? Because if you don't have a mask, you won't know about science. That's a public commercial coming to you from COSI. All right, with that, getting back to the other amazing thing that's happening in real time is civil rights and equity protests, not just in this great country, but around the world. These images are not taken in the US. They're from London, Paris, Amsterdam, Poland. I mean, people are protesting around the world because they've had enough. So these are incredible times we're living in. Why is this important? It's important, and in fact, if you think about these protests, they've happened, of course, across the US, in Canada, but look at the density of protests throughout Europe and then in Africa and even in Australia. Incredible times. And what does that mean? That means that the world needs leaders. And that's all of you youngsters. So congratulations to that. And why am I happy to be here? Because NEED is an incredible organization that delivers for all of you and the next generation of leaders by their depth and breadth of resources that they do to support all of you. And when we talk about leadership, you know, I frame it up in three major buckets. There are three things that contribute to being a good leader. One, innovation. Two, risk. Three, be prepared. And that really leads you into being that transformational leader. Let me walk you through it a little bit. And let's kind of compare notes with need. In terms of innovation, right? Example of need projects. They start first with the teachers and the adult facilitators. They have a robust professional development experience from coast to coast that really takes teachers who traditionally don't have energy education experience and makes them expert educators. And it's incredible. It's not a one-touch, oh, you have a little 5-hour experience and that's it. This is a chronic program throughout the academic year and through several years where teachers keep coming back to significantly increase their capacity. But why do they do that? Why do they work with the teachers and adults? Because really it's all about you students and ensuring the students, and here's some of my favorite shots from past students, the students have a best ability of learning energy education and the wonders of what it can provide as you move forward. So if you think about how they've transformed not just the teacher landscape, but especially all of you on the student landscape, it's incredible. So have they innovated? Absolutely. Need gets to check that box. Let's talk about risk as well. Now, when I talk about risk, I'm not talking about jumping off a bridge. I'm not talking about super radical risk. I'm talking about the capacity to just stretch yourself a little bit and try something different. For this, I'm going to pivot to COSI, which is where I work, the Center of Science and Industry in Columbus, Ohio. This is our building. I want to share with you an experience that we did, which involved a little risk 2 years ago. We were launching our science festival. This is taking science to communities where people live, learn, and lounge. And we wanted to make a big announcement about how we're going to do this. So we've had this whole epic announcement. People came. You can see how packed it is. This is just for the announcement of the science festival. And what do? We got risky. This character in orange, that's me, the sucker up front. And what we did is the people in lab coats you're looking at, these are actually mayors from different cities in and around Columbus. And we put them to work. And they're doing an experiment here. You can see them in the lab coats. And look at what happened with the experiment. Now, the cool thing about science is you got to dig deeper and analyze stuff. So let's go a little closer and see what we see. This is actually one of the COSI educators helping with supporting this experiment with the mayors, which again was risky. This is actually the mayor of the city of Columbus. Look at his face. You can't pay for that advertisement. He is completely amazed and excited about what we were doing around science education. And so it was risky, but it paid off. It paid off in such great ways that after that, oh, by the way, if you didn't recognize that experiment, it's called Elephant Toothpaste, and it's what Miss America did to win Miss America. Think about that. Miss America is a proud scientist, and for all you girls, especially out there who want to be into science, technology, engineering, and math, and study energy and take it to the next level, you have an incredible role model in Miss America. She did that same experiment. All right. So with that, taking that risk allowed us to meet some incredible people. This is Governor DeWine, the governor of Ohio, and First Lady Fran, and me wishing I had the hair that's on the background, but that's another story. Got to hang with this gentleman. No, I'm not a great singer, but I am a fan of the good John Legend. And also got to meet this guy. This is, at the time, he was the richest person in the world. Now he's the second richest person in the world, none other than Bill Gates. Now, you can see by the photo, right? Like, Mr. Gates is really enthralled with what I'm telling him. But the lady in the background, I don't know what she's thinking. She doesn't look too much like a fan, but that's okay. Moving right along. So again, taking risks allowed me to be, on the cover of a few magazines, one CEO of the year, and really just allowed us to move forward. So the idea of taking risks, yes, ladies and gentlemen, calculated risk can be majorly useful in how you move forward. The third piece is around preparation. This idea of being prepared. And so for that, I want to walk you through this idea of, are you ready? People talk about luck, and for example, there's this gentleman, his name is Louis Pasteur from the 19th century, a great inventor and chemist. He came up with pasteurization. So when you think of pasteurized milk, for example, he's the gentleman that came up with this. He had this saying in French in 1854, but it translates into this: chance favors the prepared mind. And this is so important because sometimes people say, oh, you're so lucky, or so-and-so had so much good luck. We all have luck. We all get exposed to luck. The question is, are we as men and women, boys and girls, prepared to take advantage when luck comes across us, right? So for example, Saul Khan, you may not know his name, but I'm sure you know what he does. He was an investment banker working in Boston, and he had these three nieces and nephews in New Orleans who were struggling in math. They were in elementary school. having a tough time in math, and he couldn't fly back and forth. So he decided to make these videos to teach his, these young kids about math. Well, next thing you know, other people found these videos and saw them and were writing him letters saying, these videos were so helpful. They helped my child who couldn't know math, etc. Long story short, he ends up launching this thing called Khan Academies that has over 15 million users per month, everything from pre-K to college level courses and all kinds of subjects. Bill Gates gave him $10 million several years ago to move this forward. The point is, he wasn't planning on doing this, but he had a prepared mind. When that opportunity came, he was able to seize it and develop Khan Academies. Similarly, this gentleman, Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't go out to set up Facebook, one of the largest companies in the history of the world. He came up with this program called Face Mash as a Harvard undergraduate student in his dormitory. And the purpose of this program was just to show images and share images between you and your friends and have some comments about those images. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, grew into what you all know as Facebook, with 2.6 billion users. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to say this slowly. There are 7.7 billion people on planet Earth. 1/3 of us communicate through this digital platform, these ones and zeros called Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg didn't set out to do this, but chance favored his prepared mind. When the opportunity came from growing from the little Harvard and then other university program, he seized that opportunity, and next thing you know, he's running one of the biggest companies in the history of man and womankind. All right, which brings me back to NEED. Right, NEED is the exceptional program that's providing opportunity for all of you and the next generation of leaders. And if you don't think that's true, a huge congratulations to your 2020 Youth Energy Leadership Award recipients. Kudos to all of you. Everyone's a winner in the NEED program, but we did want to celebrate you all as really outstanding individuals. So congrats to that. And so is the idea of being prepared part of NEED's work? Absolutely, because they prepare you to become leaders and world changers. And so when you think about where does the preparation go? Well, it leads to jobs. In fact, there's so much literature talking about by this year, 2020, half of the jobs, 50% of the jobs in the US are specifically related to science, technology, engineering, and math. Here are all the kind of jobs you can do with just a biology degree. Here are all the jobs you can do with a chemistry or physics degree. Here we're looking at engineering. It's not just electrical, mechanical, and computer engineering, but there's all these other engineering fields that are available for all of you. And then, of course, there's the energy field. So many career opportunities at the undergraduate level, doctoral level, everything from policy and government to working online, in energy companies. Just an incredible wealth of career potential. So, in closing, and you might be asking me, what am I putting this Pixar picture up there? Honestly, because I like it, I think it's a cool picture. But in closing, I want to ask you all, what do the following people have in common? So this is a young Albert Einstein. This is Larry Page and Sergey Brin. These are the founders of Google. This is Rosalind Franklin. She worked with Watson and Crick to discover the formation of DNA. This is Chad Gesture. He is the person who came up with quadricopters, which was a precursor to drones, which of course we use all the time. On the top, you're looking at Jeff Hahn. He is the person who came up with the touch screen. So on your phone and the bank machines, anywhere you use a touch screen, it's by this Asian American named Jeff Hahn. On the right, you have, of course, Mr. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. And then you have Marie Curie, you know her well. You have Mark Zuckerberg, we talked about him. And finally, you have Captain Barrington Irving, the youngest person to fly around the world. He did it at the age of 23. What do they all have in common? Very simple, ladies and gentlemen. They have youth. All of those people I showed you made their dramatic discoveries, their incredible contributions to our planet, to making our lives better, not when they were 45, 50, 55, 60, but anywhere between 16 and 22 years old. And that's the power of all of you and everything you've accomplished. So continue to explore, wonder, and dream. Make sure you spread the word to your younger brothers and sisters and cousins and folks in your communities, because none are too young to learn about the importance of energy education and STEM education in general. Why? Because this is how we're all born. Look at her face. She is completely curious about that butterfly. And that's the point. All of you are born curious. All children are born curious. We have to continue, like the NEED model suggests, to show, stimulate, innovate, motivate the next generation to stay curious so that ultimately they can become the superheroes that we need to save our society, whether it's through coronavirus or continue to ensure that we have equity and fairness throughout the world. And so with that, I want to say you all are the next generation that's going to take care of our planet and make it green. And so I want to say a warm, heartfelt congratulations to all of the NEED youth participants this year. Well done, well deserved, and I look forward to following your careers as you move forward. Thank you very much. And as the good Mary Spruill mentioned, I'm happy, if it's appropriate, to take a few questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Berkeley. Right now, we will take a couple questions in the chat for Dr. Berkeley, if you have any. All right, seeing none. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Berkeley, for your time, and thank you for joining us from COSI.
An absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me. You all are wonderful.
Well, my name is Edmund Gayton. I am a NEED student intern from Raleigh, North Carolina. We would now like to take this time to thank NEED's board members, coordinators, teacher advisory board members, sponsors, and special guests for help making the 40th Annual Youth Energy Conference virtually a reality. Thank you so much. Also, a special thank you to Phillips 66 and the American Electric Power Foundation for supporting the Youth Energy Conference and Awards.
Throughout the last week, we've recognized many of our special award winners. The winners of the NEED Youth Energy Leadership Award and the Bob Thompson Award for Excellence in Energy Education were awarded in special Zoom ceremonies. You can find the details about these great award winners on the NEED website at www.need.org. Edmund, let's celebrate our winning schools now. We'll go alphabetically by state for state awards. From Illinois, the Illinois Junior School of the Year is Bednarsik Junior High School. With their project, Students Can Make a Difference. Their project advisor, Amy Trumper, and the participants, Erin Bothra and Abigail John.
From Kentucky, the Kentucky Junior Finalist is St. Ames Catholic School. Project title, St. Ames Goes Green. Project advisor, Kelly Mullane Schlegg. Project participant, Ames Boyer. From Massachusetts, the Massachusetts Junior School of the Year is Mount Alvernia Academy. Project title, Mars Rover Project. Project advisor, Maria Lyon. Project participants, Selena Lee, Marie Grio, Samuel Lee, and Isabel Borgonzi.
From Ohio, the Ohio Special Project Rookie of the Year is Dayton Public Schools and City of Dayton.
Also from Ohio is the Ohio Special Project Finalist, Worthington Energy Program. From South Carolina, the South Carolina School of the Year is Myrtle Beach Middle School. Project title, Dashboard, Tracking Energy Production and Usage. Project advisor, Katie Corris.
From Tennessee, the Tennessee Junior School of the Year is Mickey Elementary School, with their project, Conservation of Energy. Their project advisor, Deborah Steen, and the participants, Ava Dancer and Alex Jones.
From West Virginia, the National Junior Finalist in West Virginia's Junior School of the Year is Shortline Elementary School. Project title, Out and About Teachers Teaching Others. Project advisor, Leslie Lively. Project participant, Trevor Stackpole. From Kentucky, the National Junior Finalist as well as the Kentucky Junior School of the Year is Scapa Bluegrass. Title project, Anti-Standby Guys. Project advisor, Ashley Arkwright. Project participant, Seth Gladding, Alexander Masterson, and Evan Riggett.
From New Mexico, the National Junior Finalist and New Mexico School of the Year is Bosby School, with their project, Challenging Energy and Environment. The project advisor, Barb Lazar, and the participants, Brooklyn Bird, Sophia Daruger, Maya Falcon, and Madeline Treweek.
From Georgia, the National Junior School of the Year as well as Georgia School of the Year is Hillsman Middle School. Project title, Energy is Essential, Every Day and in Emergencies. Project advisor, Audrey Hughes. Project participants, Isatu Sar, Chloe Smith, and Adriana Gonzalez.
From Louisiana, the National Junior School of the Year, as well as Louisiana School of the Year, is St. Margaret Catholic School with their project, Pro Terra Nova. Their advisor, Judy Reeves, and the participants, John Kilkin, Evan Mathis, Sarah Owen, Bailey Wimberly, and Jake Wing.
From Virginia, the National Senior Rookie of the Year and the Virginia School of the Year is Grassfield High School. Project title, Solar Panel Integration. Project advisor, Thomas Spencer. Project participants, Leon Crawford, Blaze Golden, Aryan Kumar, Ayush Shaw, and Joshua Upperman.
From West Virginia, the National Senior Finalist and West Virginia Rookie School of the Year is Shortline Elementary School with their project, Being Part of the Community. Their advisor, Leslie Lively, and participant, Trevor Stackpole. From Texas, the National Senior School of the Year, as well as the Texas Senior School of the Year, is O'Connell College Preparatory School, with their project, Putting the Green Back in Galveston. Their advisor is Nina Corley, and the participants are Cyrus Nordstrand, Justin Henry, Renee Horton, Walker Albert, Donovan Wilson, and Dawson Pinkley.
And now for the Special Project Awards.
From North Carolina, the National Special Project Rookie of the Year and North Carolina Special Project of the Year is Catalyst, with their project, Energizing Opportunities in STEM and Energy Careers for Students with Disabilities. Their participants come from Broughton High School. We have Leah Kriasik and Alexander Thomas. From Cabarrus Early College of Tech, we have Naomi Owens. From Corinth Holders High School, we have Kevin Sharp. From Ledford High School, we have Joseph Yanez. From Leesville Road Middle School, we have Nicholas Vega. And from Panthers Creek High School, we have Josh Petschke. And from the Fletcher Academy, we have Kennedy Goodall.
From Ohio, the National Special Project of the Year, as well as the Ohio Special Project of the Year, is Westerville Energy Education Partnership. And for the special awards recognizing significant projects in engineering, energy efficiency, and outreach, we have.
From Kentucky, Outstanding Energy Engineering and Design Project, as well as the Kentucky Junior Finalist, is Ackerman Middle School with their project, The Power of One. Their advisor is Jennifer Davis, and their participant is Jaden Pauley. Congratulations, everyone. If you need a change made to a certificate or plaque, be sure to let us know. You all will be receiving an evaluation survey via email to give your feedback on this year's Youth Energy Conference and Awards. Please fill that out at your earliest convenience. We appreciate all of the hard work you guys have done on these great projects in spite of the weird times. Let's all have one more round of applause for everyone.
A special shout out to all of our adult and youth staff members for helping out. We hope to see each and every one of you in person next year. Now I will hand it back to Mary for us to sign off.
Thanks, Edmund. Thanks, Kira. You guys did a great job, and congratulations to all our winners. Missing a whole quarter of a school year, trying to learn Zoom, trying to learn Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams and everything that you had to learn in that last quarter, really starting around March 13th and beyond. The last several months have been really hard on teachers and students and families, and especially hard on our kids. In these hard and incredibly weird times, certainly weirder than anything any of us have seen before, we've also seen a lot of innovation in figuring out how to do things like the 40th Annual Youth Awards for Energy Achievement and our Youth Energy Conference, just doing things a little bit differently. And it's also created a lot of creativity and spurred a lot of creativity and a love of determination to make teaching and learning really fun, really interesting, and still engaging in spite of the virus. Each year, NEED recognizes an individual who's with the Distinguished Service Award, our NEED Distinguished Service Award. And this award is given to someone who's dedicated their time and themselves to teaching and supporting NEED and making learning about energy really fun and exciting for kids and teachers, their peers, and their local communities. And it should be no surprise that this year, NEED, its board of directors, its staff, has selected the NEED teacher and all teachers around the world to be the 2020 Distinguished Service winner. They deserve it. Our teachers have done what no one else has done before while keeping their sense of humor, keeping their wits about them, keeping their kids engaged and excited, and maintaining their incredible commitment to kids in spite of teaching science from their basements or the quietest space in their houses, having to deal with barking dogs and crying kids, and still making learning about energy fun. We're excited to be able to award the teacher the 2020 Distinguished Service Award. Thanks everybody for joining us for the 40th Annual Youth Energy Conference and Awards. We are starting tomorrow planning the 41st Annual Youth Energy Conference and Awards that we hope will bring all of you to Washington, D.C. So stay in touch with us, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, check out the YouTube channel for things this summer. If you're teaching summer school or having to do a project this summer for a class that you're taking, stay engaged, stay connected to us. The Youth Energy Leadership Awards, those scholarship applications will be going up soon so people can apply. You've had a chance to meet our great youth staff, and if you're interested in being part of that team for next year, make sure that you're paying attention to our website when the application goes live for that as well. So stick with us, enjoy, learn a lot, and the few questions that we did get for Frederick in the chat, I'll make sure we get some answers and get those out to everybody. But thanks for being with us and have a great rest of your summer. Thanks.
Thank you all again for joining us.
Yes, we hope you have a great summer and hope to see you next year.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.